So hello friends, how are you? I hope you are enjoying this stipend to salary series. Today I brought for you very important amendments relating to budget, which pertains to your direct, indirect tax, and some portion is your general amendments that you need to cover. So straight away move into it. First is your facts about India. So your GDP growth rate for financial year 23-24 was 8.2%, and inflation at present targeted inflation is 4%, and fiscal deficit targeted is 4.9% of GDP. And one major amendment that Andhra Pradesh is going to revamp, it's going to be a hub of IT and news, new capital and all those things would be fully initiated. And MSME guarantee covers has increased. Government will monitor IPC through an integrated framework, fund allocation to Bihar and NPS Vatsalya. NPS Vatsalya means contribution by parents and guardians for the minors, right? Till they achieve their 18 years of age. And focus areas of the budget are, there are total 9 focus areas of the budget. First is productivity, second is employment skilling, third is inclusive HR development, fourth is manufacturing services, fifth is urban development, sixth is your energy security, and seventh is infrastructure. Eighth is your innovation, research, and development, and ninth and final is your next generation reforms. Right? These were the 9. These are the 9 focus areas of your budget. Then budget estimates. Some of the talking about some of the figures, which is total receipts other than borrowings amounting to 32.07 lakh crore rupees. Let me tell you a fact that are you aware of the turnover of Reliance Industries? It is more than 9 lakh crore rupees per annum, and Indian budget, its receipts are estimated to be 32.07 lakh crore rupees other than borrowings. So assume, so compare that how big the Reliance Industries is. Then total expenditure is estimated to be 48.21 lakh crore rupees, and balance will come from borrowings. Net tax receipts 25.83 lakh crore rupees include direct, indirect tax receipts, and fiscal deficit estimated to be 4.9% of your GDP, and gross and net market borrowings amounting to 14.01 lakh crore rupees and 11.63 lakh crore rupees, right? Some promotion. So in order to promote the manufacturing and services led internship for the purpose of generating the employment to the people, government has proposed to launch a scheme to provide the internship opportunities in 500 top companies to 1 crore youths in the coming 5 years. So they will better gain exposure for 12 months in the real business environment. In that, and government is proposed for a stipend of 5,000 rupees per month, along with the one-time assistance of rupees 6,000. But why would companies spend on these? Because government has provided a special incentive for the companies that they can spend their training cost plus 10% of their internship costing from the CSR fund, right? Now, next is your indirect tax related amendments. Some custom related amendments I've covered here, that basic custom duty on gold, silver, platinum decrease from 10% to 5%. Remember, this is only basic custom duty, and some more categories of medicines have been exempted from the basic custom duty, and mobile equipments BCT has been reduced to 15%. Agri products like she nuts reduced from 15% to 30, increase from reduced to 15% from 30%. These are not that important for your interviews, right? Now, next is indirect tax GST portion, which is important. So, first is that neutral alcohol that is used for manufacturing the alcoholic liquor is excluded from the CGST as IGST. Earlier, it was covered. Time limit for availment of ITC under Section 16(4) would be 30th of November 21 for the financial year 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21. So any ITC which pertains to that period can be availed till 30th of November 21. Government has prospectively amended these provisions. Third is your, in case the return file after revocation of the registration, return is filed within 30 days, the same time limit is extended by the difference time. And under Section 34, common time limit for prescription notice and orders in demand for the financial year also means common time limit. Government has under Section 34A CGST, common time limit for demand notices and orders in demand for the financial year onwards, also reduced the penalty provisions by government, some reduced, right? And apportionment of co-insurance premium by the lead insurer to the co-insurer in the insurance agreement will not be considered as a supply, right? In case of what's the Co-insurance means one is the lead insurer, other is the supporting insurer. So between them, if any premium has been shared, that is not considered as a supply and no GST to be charged on that. ITC can be taken on the input tax paid under section 74, means with respect to demand, right? Now, some of the direct tax amendments, these are relating to corporates and some litigation related provisions. So tax rate on the e-commerce operator has been reduced from 1% to 0.1%, right? And the credit of TCS is proposed to be given on the TDS deducted on salary, and STCG increased from 15% to 20%, and LTCG from 10% to 12.5% without indexation provisions. And for the property, it is indexation is allowed for the property purchase till if you sell the property purchase till 23rd of July, then the tax rate, then you have the option to take the indexation with a 20% rate of interest, without indexation 12.5% rate of interest. And limit of exemption for capital gain increased to 1.25 lakh rupees from 1 lakh rupees, and unlisted financial assets to be sold for at least 2 years. Unlisted financial assets to be sold for at least 2 years to classify it as a long term. And for the resolution of income tax disputes, some scheme, that Vivad Se Vishwas scheme 2024, has been introduced, and some monetary limit for filing appeals has been increased, and government proposed to abolish the angel tax for the all class of investors, which was implemented on the startups, right? Persons relating to startups. And then corporate tax on the foreign companies reduced from 40% to 35%, and STT on F&O increased to 0.0% and 0.1% respectively, and exemption to the employer contribution to NPS proposed to increase from 10% to 14% of your salary, and withdrawal of the equalization levy of 2%, which was introduced by the finance bill, right? Now, which became act. Then immunity from the penalty prosecution to the benamidar if he made the full disclosure. Now, some of the direct tax amendments relating to individual, which is new tax regime, standard deduction increase from 50,000 rupees to your 75,000 rupees, and deduction on the family pension for the pensioners to be increased from 15,000 to 25,000 rupees. And what is the revised tax slab under the new tax regime? It is 0 to 3 lakhs nil, 3 to 7 lakhs 5%, and 7 lakhs to 10% is your 10%, and 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs your 15%, and 12 lakh to 15 lakh is your 20%. More than 15 lakh you will be taxed at the rate 30%, right? So now some other provisions which have been amended. First is relating to your budget only, like for the budget taxability of LTCG, we have discussed that 12.5% without indexation, and for the property purchased before 23rd of July 2024, if you sell that property, LTCG is 12.5% without indexation, or you have the option to opt 20% with indexation provision, whichever is beneficial for you. Now, rental income, that all rental income from the land building must be classified as income from house property. Remember this word. And proposed TDS rate changes, talking about this proposed TDS rate changes, and 2% TDS rate has been prescribed for section 194D, that is TDS on the insurance commission, 194D, which is your TDS on the payment in respect of life insurance policy, 194G, which is TDS on commission on the sale of lottery tickets, and 194H, which is TDS on commission and brokerages. Remember, it is important, 194H is also going to cover under 2% tax TDS. Okay, 194IB, which is TDS on rent by the individual HUF other than those covered under section 194I, and 194M, which is TDS on payments to residents, contracts, and professionals by the individuals or HUF, which is not required to deduct TDS under section 194C, H, and J. And one more provision relating to TDS amendment, which is 0.1% TDS under section 194O, right? Now, next as your new section 194T has been inserted. It is very important. And so what is this? And it introduces TDS at the rate 10% on the payments to partners by the firms, LLPs, in the nature of salary, remuneration, interest, bonus, commission, which is exceeding 20,000 rupees in a financial year, right? And It is effective from 1st of April 2025. And what is the TCS scope extension? Government will prescribe some rules and some provisions under on which TCS under section 206C1F would be applicable. And definition of transferor has been some amended in that under section 194 IA. Transferor now includes all the transfers in a contract for calculating the 50 lakh time limit for TDS deduction. Okay. Now TCS exclusion 206C now exclude the TCS from the persons not liable to pay tax, right? And what is the TDS on salary and other income? TDS under section 192B for deducting that, and TDS and TCS on other income must be considered for deducting that. And some changing holding period is there for classification as short term, long term. That for the listed shares, it was 12 months and now it is 12 months only. And for the unlisted shares and immovable property, same that 24 months. And then for the bonds, debentures, and golds, the holding period for classification of long term has been reduced to 24 months. Earlier it was 36 months. And for the listed units of business trust, it has been reduced to 12 months. Earlier it was 36 months, right? Now, one more provision that in case of share buyback by the company, the same is taxable and in the hands of recipient only, right? And shareholder only, and 10% TDS is applicable to the company under section 194. And option and some employment linked incentive schemes has been introduced. If you want to read that, you can. And some new education loan provisions has been inserted that the annual interest subvention vouchers at the rate 3% of the loan amount would be given for the loan up to 10 lakh rupees for the higher education, the domestic institutions to the resident persons, right? And these were all the budget related amendments. Now a few more topics are there which can be asked in the GD, so I will make a separate video on the topics to be asked in the GD and how you should prepare those topics. So please do watch that video. And here are some examples of the topics. So till then, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.
So I correct myself for the provision that income from house property classification. I told that all the rental income from land building would be classified as income from house property, but the provision is that all the rental income from the residential house property or a part of it would be classified as income from house property for the owners, right? So it's only for the residential house property. Thank you.